1, 2, 3, SCA!
Okay, so real simple. For our takedown part of the class today, we were just looking at the sprawl. So without anyone there, sprawl I'm using when he's going for a double leg, he's trying to get in on my legs, I've got to get my legs out of the way. And the most important thing for me when I think about the sprawl, if I think about moving my legs, I'm too slow. If I think about, oh, I've got to get my legs back, by the time I've done that, anyone that's good at wrestling is through me, through my legs, and I've done it. So the way I think about it is, I'm aiming to get my hip on the mat as quickly as possible. But to do that, my legs have to get out of the way. So when I sprawl, I just drop to the ground. And my hips go down, my legs go out. Typically, I'm going to pick one side or the other to sprawl, so I'm hip heavy. My hip bone is a good thing to block and drive down. My arms are going to drop down to just block David as he comes in. So he comes in on his double leg. I'm going to go with my arms here, and I'm going to drop my hips. So come back in on it. I'm going to actually.
Can I shoot on the other side?
You can shoot on whichever side you like.
This side.
Yeah.
Switch your feet.
Huh?
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Okay, so he's going to shoot on me, and I just drop on him. Once I'm on him, obviously, I can work into whatever I want to do. The most important thing is keeping my legs away.
That knee sucks for shooting.
Yeah, no, it's cool. A lazy sprawl will work really well against a bad wrestler. But if he shoots on me and I sprawl but my legs are here, anyone any good is just going to keep driving through, dump me on the mat. A good wrestler isn't aiming for my legs, they're aiming for the wall behind me. I just happen to be in the way, and they're going to scoop me up and take me with them. So that was our defensive work from the feet. The next thing we came on to was half guard. So a half guard system that I absolutely love, and it was probably the first system in half guard that I started playing with. I picked it up from videos, old school VHS videos from Gordo, who did a set, probably the first set I ever saw on half guard. And if you come around this side, you're going to see the magic. Okay, so David is down and deep and tight. He's got good shoulder pressure in here. Last week we looked at using the old school, which relied on me working and getting an underhook. Now I can use my weak hook and release the pressure, but if he's really tight here, it might be hard for me to get across to frame and get under this arm. I also, as I go here, he might start threatening head and arm me, so bringing his hand up behind or working to here. I don't like that, I'm going to bail out of it. Okay, he's clearly, he likes that head and arm. I don't want to dice with that. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use this arm across his face a little bit, and I'm going to hip out. And when I get my hip out, I've now got space to put my butterfly hook in. So I've gone into what we call half butterfly. From here, I'm going to square my hips again. And the beauty of this is the more pressure David puts and drives into my chin, drive, the more he drives here, the lighter he gets at his hips. So as he pressures me here, it's very easy for me to just elevate him and drop him back into my guard. So I've dropped him back into my closed guard here, and he is completely broken down posture. I'm in a great position to start attacking him. Okay? Now, second option, exactly the same scenario. I've got this pressure. He's working tight on me. I've hipped out. I get my foot in, I lift him up. As I'm lifting him up, I bring this foot to the outside. Don't fall off me. I bring this foot to the outside, but I now scissor and pop up on top. If he falls off the side, I'll just roll with him and land on top. Again, I'm up in mount, and I'm in a very strong attacking mount position. Okay, now the third scenario we looked at, he's got a little bit wise. With this butterfly hook, I can pop him all the way over. He don't want that. So he's got tight on me. I get my butterfly in. I start lifting, and as I lift, he puts his hands up here to block. So swing your hands up. It's because he doesn't want to get lifted. He feels this is going to drive him back this way, but he's just giving me a straight shot to swim under here. Stay up. And go to his back. So that was the techniques we worked today. So half guard techniques using the butterfly, And the one thing I said to these guys is, all these different half guards, we learn them as different systems sometimes, but it's all a continuum. Even if he's back, he's not in the traditional place I'd use that butterfly. Sometimes it's beneficial for me to start playing around with this leg. And between my 2 feet, I can start really messing with him, making his life a misery, getting really dexterous with what I'm doing with my feet and legs to control the position. And it's a case of the more you use it, the more you've got. When I first started doing Jiu-Jitsu, probably my feet weren't that prehensile. The more I've trained, the more I find that my feet are just another, like my hands, I use them almost as well as I use my hands. Even when I'm at home, if there's a sock on the ground that's gonna go in the laundry bin, I'm old, my back hurts, my leg hurt. I'm not gonna bend down and pick it up. I'm just gonna pick it up and chuck it in the laundry like that. And it's nothing I've consciously done, but I've realized more and more, I use my feet just as another control in a way that most normal people don't. And it's something when I look around and I look at other jiu-jitsu people, I see the same thing with them. The whole idea, the more we train, the more we get used to using our entire body. My head can be a barrier. I can push something into place with my head. I can use my shoulder to control something, use my hips. The more awareness we get of our body, the better we're going to be at using it to control and move people around. And that's why for lower belt guys, sometimes they're working with a higher belt guy and they're like, it's freaking magic, how did you do that? Because they had extra limbs, they had extra control points. They could do things with their hip that most people would do with a hand. So it gives you just an advantage. If you're just using your hands, someone else is using their head, their hands, their knees, their shoulders, their feet. They've clearly got an advantage over you, and that's what we try to learn to do. The second benefit is the more awareness you have of every part of your body. Proprioception is the scientific term for having an understanding of the position that your body's in. The better your proprioception is, the less prone you are to injury, because you are less likely to put stress on a joint that's in a weak angle. You have a better understanding of how to save your body and put it back into a safe athletic position. So it's very important to just always practice getting back into good positions. And that was what we worked on tonight.
Cool.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Professor.